Foden is capable of playing in midfield. I'm tired of seeing Phil Foden playing wide, bro.
He's going to say you guys have never managed a football team. You never played football before. What do you know? What do you know?
Well, I know that. That's not how you do it.
Yeah.
No, I've been to Old Trafford 44 times in 2 seasons. How about you? Yo, it's your boy H Black the Source, Harry Pinero. Welcome back to the Inside Scoop. Of course, it's me and the one and only Culture Cams. But today, we've got a friend of the channel, the one and only, the champion, Joel Beya. How you doing? Oh, and he's drinking from the Inside Scoop mug. Yes, of course. How you doing today, Joel?
I'm doing great, thank you very much, man. Trying to make sure that I look good for the summer, the way you have.
Yes,
I've seen you in multiple events.
Yeah.
You know, the galas, you know, what I mean, all the international trips you do.
Oh, sorry.
You know, Gumball, quick shout out to Gumball.
Yeah, no, you know, I'll be honest with you, boys. I feel like I'm in my bag right now, you know?
You are.
When the suits come on,
you're in your prime.
Well, do you know what prime I'm in? I'm in
What are you in?
Ronaldo just before he went to Real Madrid.
Really?
Seen nothing yet.
Oh, we
Seen
ain't
nothing
seen
yet.
that yet.
This is just warming. But first Ballon d'Or.
I can't lie.
First Ballon d'Or of many. Where is he? He's over there. There he is. That's him.
You
Ronaldo.
got this
Oh,
from Speed.
man.
You got this from Speed.
I had that before that boy, man. He saw me wear it and said, "Yeah, I want to be like you." Nah.
It's great to see you both, man. You know,
Come on,
honestly,
man.
you guys are gonna have a big season.
Thank you.
I see the clips on the shows online, mostly the stuff that Cam's posted, if I'm honest, and it's looking good, man. You guys, make sure you're subscribing, and this is the place to be.
It's the place to be. But speaking of the place to be, last week I faced a lot of backlash, and I want to know your thoughts on it as well. So, guys, we dropped an episode about the combined Man City and Arsenal 11 for the Community Shield, which Arsenal won. Actually, congratulations. I just forgot. Congratulations, you won.
Community Shield champions of the world. Community Shield champions of the world.
Shameless.
Where's the plate? You bring it?
You want to know the truth?
I'll eat stew on that plate, bro.
You want to know the
Destroy that
truth? I ordered a mini plate that's due to come in like in a couple of days.
Get out, man.
This is the
You know
theory.
you cursed the fan base last season.
I don't care.
You're
This is-
responsible.
Nah, man.
You know
Because
that's a Mickey Mouse cup, innit?
It's not even a cup.
No, let's give it
Charity, Oxfam trophies.
if Jose Mourinho and Zlatan Ibrahimovic take it as a trophy, then so do I.
So our club and what we stand for, you're actually our kids, man. When I think about
Why?
it, whatever we do, you're like, well, you lot did it. So,
But that's why I'm doing it, because my voice is so mad, isn't it? That's why I'm doing it, because you guys went around, you celebrated as if you beat anyone in your run up to the League Cup final anyway. Yeah, a dead Newcastle was all in the final, by the way, and you know it. You do know it.
We just played well. We just
You know
played
it.
well in the
No, you
final.
know, they
Did
were poor.
Newcastle's not make
They
the
were
Champions
poor.
League
They
final?
were poor.
I mean, they're in the Champions League, sorry. Did
What?
Newcastle not in the Champions League this season?
Yeah, but come on, Spurs made it easy for them,
There
didn't they?
we
All
go.
these other clubs, they weren't challenging.
Excuses,
Anyway, like I said, yeah, I'm only doing it because you guys went overboard with it. So
like
it's
I
my
said,
turn.
so it's
my
like,
turn.
So because of what we do, you're following basically. It's calm.
Community Shield that Arsenal got in there by default as well, just by finishing second.
Thank
They
you
didn't
very-
win no cups.
Thank you
They didn't
very
do
much,
nothing.
Manchester United.
Crazy, bro.
That's why I actually dedicated it to
Well,
you.
at least we got
Thank
to
you,
the
Manchester
final.
United.
Obviously, we didn't win it on the day. But anyway, going back to more important things, we spoke about the combined 11 of Arsenal and Man City, which would be the best of all time. And I picked Yaya Toure ahead of Patrick Vieira. Now, I got cooked like raw meat on the stove with seasoning.
You picked Yaya?
I picked Yaya. And I went off. When I watched that player, I just felt like he was out of this world. However, my boy. Because I never really care what people got to say about me. You know me. I don't care what y'all got to say.
Yeah.
I went on YouTube. I was like, everyone's moving mad. Everyone's moving mad. Why is everyone saying, oh, Harry's... So I went on YouTube. I watched Yaya Toure. I was like, wow, what a player. Going through certain type of players, scoring different type of goals. Ridiculous. How could you compare? Then I went and watched Patrick Vieira. Instantly, I watched 2 minutes. I said, "Damn, I got it wrong. I got it wrong." But my point was, it's based on. There's no right or wrong answer for me, and it's just based on what you see.
What was the question?
So we did an all-time 11.
Yeah.
The all-time 11 of the best Arsenal and best City. Yeah, so combined 11. And then one of the positions that we had to agree on was Yaya Toure or Patrick Vieira. And then I went Vieira, he went thingy. So who would you go? Who do you think was the better? Listen, there's no right or wrong, as you said, but who?
You already know. I don't care. I'll say what I think. I think as a footballer, Yaya Toure is better. I do. I think as a footballer, and that's not to say Patrick Vieira isn't
I
good.
said he was incredible.
I think as a footballer, because he can play centre back, he can play as DM, he can play as an 8, he can play as a 10. Like, I don't know what more you want. Do you know what I mean? If you're looking at longevity and what has been achieved in the Premier League, then obviously you go Vieira.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked, what is the question?
Yeah, it was more about
Just
who
takes
the
that
formation
centre
was 4-3-3.
Who takes that centre midfield position?
Yeah.
I'm with HB on that one, bro.
Yeah.
Nah,
But don't get it twisted though.
I'm not
Shout
saying
out to
that.
my Twitter. My Twitter too. They was like, "What's the conversation?" Yeah, all day. That's what I love, because it was like, I love when you guys get involved as well, because it gives me and Cams and also whoever's the guest on the show more of a conversation after to say, "See," and, you know. So guys, keep it up. Man.
But it's just funny how some people were doing stuff like. I would literally look through my quotes. One person will say, "How can this even be a conversation?" Yaya. Then the next person, Vieira all day. I'm like, this is why it's a conversation, bro. What do you mean? How can it be a conversation?
Yeah, go on you, because my voice is so...
He's been screaming because you want a community shield.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like, literally, that's it.
But yeah, no, it was a good conversation. So let us know if you want more conversations as well. But there's been some breaking news, Cams. Obviously, Cam's got the laptop today. So when Cam's got the laptop, that's him with the information for the nation. So Cam's, hit us. What have you got for us?
So there's a few things that's happened this week. Obviously today, actually, overnight, reports in Brazil broke that Man City want Lucas Paqueta. And they bid 70 million for him, and West Ham plan to reject that. What do you think about that? And I'm going to ask a follow-up question afterwards, but what do you think about Paqueta to Manchester City? Do you see that as a needle mover? Do you see that as City being greedy? What do you think? Because Pep wants to strengthen up in the midfield areas. So I'll go with you, Joel, first.
I guess anyone that Pep picks, even if I think they're average, they always end up being like spectacular. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember when Akanji came, who saw that? Do you know what I mean? Nathan Ake, I thought he struggled in his first season at City. And that's a perfect example as why you don't judge someone straight away, because I think last year, obviously, Stones was the man, even though he played more midfield, but who could look past Ake last season? So for me, 70 million's a lot, but maybe when you're a treble winning team and you're probably the best team in the history of the Premier League,
Don't do that.
they start to put that tax on you, maybe, you know what I mean? But I think, okay, but if anyone's going to make him good and fit him into the system and we go, oh my gosh, Paqueta, I didn't know he was that good, it's Pep Guardiola. So do what you want.
Yeah, I think I agree as well. I think with Paqueta, I haven't looked at him and thought. Yeah, I haven't looked at. I'll start that again. For me, I think with Paqueta, I didn't look at him and think Man City player. I felt like he was underdeveloping at West Ham. I don't think he hit the ground running at all. But like you said, like Pep has this thing where he can see the talent in a player and think, this is a system that he'll be able to develop in. Like we mentioned the names of Akanji, Ake, and even some players that he's bought, and I thought, ooh.
Remember when John Stones was 50 mil?
Yeah, like
Everton
as well.
2016.
Yeah, so
2016.
Talking about one of the best centre backs in the world right
Yeah.
now. So I think if anyone, like you said, is going to go there, but maybe I think for West Ham, I'm just looking at they've just got 105 mil for Declan. If they get 70 mil, that's a fantastic window in terms of selling players. But the season's about to start, so who are they going to bring in terms of to replace Paqueta and replace Declan Rice? I think that would be the issue I have for West Ham. But for Man City, I don't think it's crazy, because I think even if they don't start him straight away, they've got a strong enough team to still compete.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good signing. I think if he was linked with Arsenal, if he was linked with Man United, he's a good player, I think, Paqueta, but I think everyone would be kind of like, is that what we really need? But I think when you're with City, you have this kind of optimism. Yeah, I mean, same thing actually going on with Havertz. Like, as much as people are like, Havertz Arsenal, you still think, but Arteta can maybe improve him. So
it's true.
That thing, I'm not saying Paqueta's not levels or anything, but I think he came good in the last 2 months of the season. He was good at Lyon.
He was good in the World Cup.
He was good at the World Cup. So he's got the technical ability and the quality to probably be at Man City. But the question that I'm interested in,
How old is he?
I think he's young. He's only like 20, I think he must be like 25. Like 25 or something like that. But the question that I've got is that they want to put him in a midfield area. What does this mean for Phil Foden?
Listen.
When is Phil Foden going to get his midfield position? Because I saw Pep basically say, look, Foden can play in midfield and stuff, but he needs to learn about basically retention in midfield.
When did he say this?
Just the other day. I think it was just after the game against you lot, I think it was. So and in the game against you lot, he gets the ball from where? From first phase, turns, runs, lucky pass out wide, and then Cole Palmer end up scoring. But Foden is capable of playing in midfield. I'm tired of seeing Phil Foden playing wide, bro. And now you want to bring in Paqueta for 70 million. So you're going to move Phil Foden to the wing because Paqueta's taking that role.
I just think he doesn't trust him.
Same. I've always said, why do you like?
But
Bro,
is this an indictment on Foden?
No, okay,
because
cool.
people are using it as a reason to not rate Foden. Because the conversation on Foden now, for me, is getting crazy.
There's a lot of disrespect on Foden's name. I think when we're talking about naturally gifted players, I don't think in England we've produced anything of the sort of for a long, long time.
For this generation.
for me,
For this generation.
It's mental. No, in terms of talent.
Yeah.
You see when a man gets the ball, it's frightening. You just think something's going to happen. I think the only thing I look at when I watch his game is his end product is lacking.
Do you think?
I think he doesn't
I wouldn't
score
even
enough.
say it's
I don't think
lacking.
he scores enough goals. You know why, There's been chances, again, like last season, there's been a lot of chances that Phil Foden has squandered or he's hit the post
That's
or he's
true.
just gone past. And I think maybe that is what Pep is worried about, because apart from that, everything he does on the ball is
Clean.
correct. He's a great passer of the ball. He ticks the ball moving. He's fast. He's strong as well. So it must be a personal thing with him.
He's
and Pep,
fit
man.
as well.
'Cause
He's
sometimes
always
I
injured.
look at Pep's decisions and I'm like, the player looks like he's playing fine. What's
Yeah.
the issue?
I think, like, people are using Pep's thoughts to get onto Phil Foden, right? But Phil Foden, for me, play for Arsenal, play for Man United, play for Liverpool, whatever. We're talking about an absolute ridiculous player. Still, I think he's ridiculous, right? But Pep's thinking is a lot different to any other managers, bro. You look at what he's done with Jack Grealish, for example. At Villa, Grealish was running wherever he wants. City, you better get chalk on your boots. Stay down there and be a retention, hold the ball, and that's it. Pep has his way of doing things, and I don't think because Pep thinks like that, we all
should
have
as
to
well.
think
Yeah,
like
of
that.
course.
Phil Foden is a mad player, and because he hasn't got the required retention for Pep to play in centre midfield, does not mean you should be looking at Foden like, maybe he's not as good as we think. Maybe he's
I
not.
don't even
For
think
me,
it's that conversation,
he's
you know,
silly,
Cams.
man. Foden is.
Cams,
he's
I don't
silly,
think it's
man.
that conversation. I genuinely think it's down to Pep and what Pep views, how he views his
Agreed.
players.
Agreed.
I don't think because I don't look at Phil Foden and think he's
dead.
not good.
Yeah.
He needs to. I just think, just in general, I just think he just needs to score more goals. That is it. I think.
Me, as much as I love Bukayo Saka,
Yeah.
that's our guy. I've been talking to people here and there. I think I spoke to Laura Woods and a few other people. The question was Saka or Foden, right? She was fair. She likes Foden, whatever. But you speak to other people, and they're literally making it seem like it's a Saka all day. He's clean
Yeah.
all day. And don't get me wrong, Saka's good, but come on, do you know what I mean? Like,
This is the thing with young players, yeah. People, it goes up and down so much. There was a time, obviously, he's now seems like he's going to get phased into the game again. But there was a time when it was like, oh, no, Mason Greenwood, he's the best. Then it was like, oh, no, Phil Foden's the best. Saka's not ready yet. Now it's Saka's the best. He's clear. People got to realize with young players, it's going to go like this until they're in their prime. So Saka was the man last season. It was all good. People need to remember, Foden still, I think, nearly got 20 goals and assists last year. And he was barely playing.
You're joking.
He got about 14. Yeah, he got about, I think, I'll check it out, bro.
but
He
please,
got good
use the
numbers.
lappy.
Yeah.
He got good numbers last season. So, like, Foden for me is, you know, when people talk about it, I'm like, it's not like Foden gets on the pitch, stinks it up all the time, and it's like, whoa, what's going on with Foden's future? Foden gets on the pitch, makes things happen. Do you know what I mean? Didn't he get the assist against Real Madrid? Little slot down the side and they score. Bro, come
Even
on, man.
in the final.
Foden,
When he came on in the final,
he was good.
He was an integral part of why they even got a goal. But my thing is, that I look at Foden and I think to myself, like when do you start to think, okay, cool, I feel like I'm good enough. I feel like I'm applying myself, but it's just not working under this man.
It's not going to happen, HP.
but
Because he is a City academy product. Sometimes I think that's why he's still at the club with Pep. Because if Pep's moving like this, I think he would have sold him if he wasn't so integral to what he means to Manchester City.
Do you think then it's a thing where Pep is just wants more from him and can see that this player genuinely could be one of the best in the world, if not the best, in his mind, and this is what he's putting him through so he can get to.
It's been too long for that.
Going by his words, he
7
said
years.
it's been a while. But going by his words, he's the best teenager I've worked with, or other than I think Messi or whatever. He said, right. So I'm like, all right, okay, cool. So you obviously rate him highly, and clearly he's trusted him in big games and stuff before. But I just don't think he trusts him enough to play in midfield. But you look at Phil Foden, you look at the talent, you look at the type of player he is. That guy is made for the central areas. For me, even when I look at Man City, yeah, and now that Gundogan has left, watching them, okay, it was early. They've had 2 weeks less than you guys and stuff. Other than KDB, nobody gives that kind of for Man City. Except from Phil Foden, in my opinion. He gets on, he can take on one, he can take on two, he can run through the middle. Bernardo, lovely footballer, retains the ball, blah, blah, blah. Grealish, same thing. Kovacic, Rodri. But KDB is the only penetration, bro. And I think Phil Foden is that guy. And
you're wrong there.
Last season,
you're wrong.
he got 15 goals, 8 assists.
I think Grealish offers them a lot going forward. So you got to be very careful what you're saying.
The penetration. Does Grealish give them that penetration that when you think he's going to get something devastating is going to happen? I don't think so.
Grealish,
and Jack Grealish is my favourite player in the league. But I don't think, I love Jack Grealish. But he's not devastating. I think Foden and Grealish can be, Foden and De Bruyne are the devastating players in that Man City team now, obviously other than Erling Haaland. That's what I see it.
I think it's debatable, but you're right though. I do think with Grealish, he's limited to the way we know him to play, which is for him to just be floating inside. Like, you know, he does that well. He done that well, at Villa. But I think with Pep, the way he plays, and we saw it with Henry said it. Henry was someone who wanted to do more on the pitch, and Pep told him, stay by the touchline. It's just when you're on the wing for Man City, that is where you need to play. You need to stay there. So I think sometimes with Grealish, I think it's a credit to how great he is and how good he's been at Cities, because even though the most important or the part of his game that we love the most has been taken away a bit, and he's still effective. It just works. It has to work in the system. I think if anything, Pep wants Phil Foden to work in the system, not the way we view him to play. Yeah, that's how I view it, because we know how great Phil Foden can be, and you're right. He is a penetrating player. He is someone that will take the ball and carry the ball and create a chance and create space. But
so sick.
If that's not what Pep wants, and it works for Pep's system, and what's working for Pep's system works, then there's nothing we can say.
And a great example of it, right? But the reason why it's kind of frustrating for me is because, look, I'm a United fan. Why should I be frustrated? But I just like to see talents blossom, right? But it's because of how long it's been. Do you know what I mean? And you look at what's his name? It was a great example. You guys did an interview with him, Joe Cole, right? So Joe Cole, we knew him as a street baller. Wow, England's greatest talent or whatever. Jose Mourinho looks at him and he's like, yeah, you ain't playing like that with me. Do you know what I mean? You want to win trophies, or do you want to be a street footballer? You want to win trophies, right? All right, so this is the way you're going to do it. And I think that's the same thing with
Grealish.
I think not even Grealish as well, and Foden. I think it's the same situation. Like, you guys can do your thing, but you want to win trophies. This is how you're going to play the game. But at the same time, it's like, all right, you're now getting to 22, 23. When is it now going to be like?
When can he be himself? When can he come out and...
Yeah, bro. But if you can tell Henry stay wide, what can you tell Phil?
That's my point. Like, and I think the only player that had that freedom was Lionel Messi. Yeah. Really and truly. So...
And then look who we met.
We'll see how the season goes anyway.
That's mad.
It's mad, but
Pep don't care, innit? Yeah. Pep just don't. You don't care if you're Zlatan. You don't care if you're Eto. You don't care. So Phil Foden definitely.
You don't stand a chance. But listen, I just don't like the talk on Foden's name, man. As I said, 15 goals, 8 assists last season. You wouldn't even know that he even did that. He got 11 goals in the Prem. 11 in the Prem.
And I was congratulated Nketiah for that. Yeah. No, because I think it's a very good job.
Yeah, it is. Especially in this day and age as well.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
But let's move on. Another thing that's happened, just touched on Arsenal. You just mentioned Nketiah, so we'll stay there. David Raya has now signed, well, pretty much, it's a here we go stage with Fabrizio. What do you think about that? Because a lot of people are talking about, it's good competition for Ramsdale. But speaking from experience at my club and speaking from experience at seeing it at Chelsea with Courtois and Peter Cech and all this type of stuff, bro, there's no such thing as rotation with goalkeepers. One of you are making it, one of you are not. So I think within the next 12 years, either Ramsdale staying or Raya staying. One of you are leaving, bro. And you would know that because look what happened with Emi Martinez and Leno. One of you, man, have to leave, bro. So all this, it's competition. Hey,
Martinez was there for a while, though. Just saying.
Yeah, but he broke. Bro, his accent's all British. He's got a British accent. Yeah. When he's talking like close your eyes. It's a mixed race.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, if I'm honest with you, apologies for my voice, guys. Charity Shield celebrations.
Wow.
If I'm on,
I can't imagine what happens if you win the Champions League.
No, this is why I didn't want to. Anyway, let's just move on.
If I'm honest with you, I think it's a good thing though. Because I think, as much as I love Ramsdale, there's been bits near the end of the season where I started seeing 1 or 2 mistakes, and I think because Arsenal were doing so well, it got covered up and we got away with it, or because we focused on other players and maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe Saliba being injured, bigger topic, or maybe, you know, like we're focusing on the greatness of Saka or Odegaard. We forget that there's some things that standards were dropping a little bit, and because that American Don ain't cutting it. He's not challenging, and in every team you need real challengers. I think Ortega for City is a great example, but I think Cam's is right. Ortega's playing those cup games, B. Do you know what I mean? So someone's going to be playing cup games, someone's going to be playing in the league. I can't tell you who's doing what yet, because Arteta's shown that he doesn't mind dropping a goalkeeper. He doesn't mind dropping Leno. He doesn't mind. So I'm interested to see where it goes. And I feel like Ramsdale, he probably knows that he's got to pull his socks up, because no one's guaranteed a position, which I like. But boy,
Apparently he said, bring it on.
Is that what Ramsdale said?
Yeah, bring it on.
He would say that though.
Why are you saying it like that?
Yeah.
You know,
Why
I know a little bit. You know,
Why are you saying it like that? What do you want him to say?
Yeah, just don't line. Focus on the game, man.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I hear that. Let's
You
see how
need
it
to
ends
say,
up.
bring it on.
Let's see how it ends up.
Ramsdale's a good keeper. I think, again, he's ended the season maybe not the best, but the whole team has, isn't it? And I think when the keeper's blunders are highlighted, it just puts more pressure on it. But
Like Onana getting lobbed.
We'll talk about that.
All right, cool.
Come man,
we'll talk
come man,
in
have to just
pre-season,
chat, bro.
In pre-season,
Come man,
yeah,
have
a
to
game
chat.
that we won. But
Onana getting lobbed from the halfway line.
yeah,
Scoring
Wasn't
lucky
halfway
ass
line,
goals,
just above,
Kanji
just above.
giving you goals and that, but we move.
Get me, but yeah, Ramsdale. I think he's gonna be sweating a bit, because Raya's a great keeper and can distribute the ball really, really well. I think it's a good thing for Arteta. If you've got two good keepers and the best keeper plays, it just makes. I think it makes it easier. That's what you need: strength and depth. Bro. You mentioned City. That's the team that Arsenal lost the league to, so they're probably gonna want to follow them and copy everything they do, because that's what Arteta does. And it's just one of those things. You just gotta just.
Do you reckon
went over his head.
he saves us more points or brings us more points?
Raya.
Yeah.
Good question. I don't think it's him.
Raya and Ramsdale are similar to me.
I don't
bro.
think it's
Like,
him per se.
I remember, I think it was the season before last season, so like 2 seasons ago, Raya made the most saves in the Premier League or whatever. So for me, like when you look at Ramsdale and Raya, I don't think there's that much difference between them. There was a season that Raya made the most saves in the Premier League. There was also a season where Ramsdale made the most saves in the Premier League. They got relegated, but he still made the most saves as well. So they're both good reaction saves. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes they make a little blunder. They're not the tallest goalkeepers in the world, both good on their feet. So it's a direct competition for sure. But when people are saying it's like potentially a massive upgrade on Ramsdale. Now, I'm not saying Ramsdale is amazing or special, but I don't think it's like clear that Raya is much better than him. I just think they're around the same level.
That's why I asked the
in
question.
my opinion.
To
They're
me,
two
it's-
good keepers, and I think it's good competition. If one keeper's not playing well, you know you've got another one that and the standards ain't dropping. So
Yeah.
credit to Arsenal. and
There's in breaking news as this show has been going on though.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to move on to it. Is between West Ham. From West Ham, there's actually been 2 deals that they got going on. Yeah, one, Harry Maguire. It looks like he's going to be going to... It looks like it's finally happening that Harry Maguire is going to go to West Ham for 35 million. But they have just confirmed now David Ornstein, friend of 5, Bomb, the Ornstein Bomb as we call it, has just confirmed Ward-Prowse to West Ham as well.
Ooh.
So we might be getting the...
For how much?
For 30 to 35 million.
Okay.
This might be the greatest 1-2 punch in Premier League history. Ward-Prowse some set pieces to Maguire's dome. Yo! That's like Shaq and Kobe, bro.
Yeah. Ooh.
What?
Whoa.
Bro.
Cams always loses it a bit, man. He lost his absolute
Just
mind.
them lobs, bro.
He said Kobe
Bro.
and Shaq. Yeah, lost it completely.
Lob.
We need a meme.
Yeah.
You know you gotta make that meme, innit?
What?
You've got to make that meme.
No, but do you know what's so
ASAP.
crazy? Do you know what is so crazy? I mark my words. If both of those signings get completed, there's gonna be a goal that's gonna come from a set piece.
Of course.
And this guy is
I'm
gonna
gonna be validated, bro.
He's gonna use
I will be there.
He'll come on. We'll relax. I told
Yeah.
you
I
last
know the
time.
game. No, he's not gonna do it calm.
It's
He's gonna
like
slam the
Shaq
table.
and
I know the
Kobe.
game. I know the game.
We will be there. Yeah. we will be there.
And he does that thing.
Yeah. Cheeky boy. No, but that's
What do you think about them deals, though? That's good.
I think
it's great.
Harry
It's great
Maguire,
business.
banter aside,
And
banter
Alvarez
aside,
again.
yeah.
Edson Alvarez from Ajax as well.
I think
That's a new
Maguire
midfield
shines
pivot.
in West Ham.
Yeah, man. I think with Maguire, yeah, I think when people call him shit, I think it's just a mad disrespect in it. I think with him, I think the standards that we want from him, from Man United, I don't think
He's
able
not a
to
Man
do
United
so.
type player.
He's not able to do it.
Yeah.
But I think at West Ham, he'll be able to
he
shine. I
shines.
think he'll be probably the best defender there. Walk in there.
Apparently, he's going to be captain.
Simple.
Wow.
Apparently, Moyes promised him captain if he joins.
But he's smart because that's going to help build his confidence
as well,
up and everything.
And bro, if a defender comes into the team and has played for Manchester United, he has won trophies, and he's won trophies at Man United as well, bro. He's going to demand the respect as well. Ward-Prowse, we already knew he was a Premier League player. I think Southampton, he was just very unlucky. The fact that the team just wasn't good, but as a set piece taker, he's one of the best in the world, and that's understood.
I think he goes missing in games though.
Who Ward-Prowse?
Yeah.
He's got that specialist trait.
Yeah,
but
man.
he'll be
I think-
remembered
I
But
for.
he's a
but-
Premier, I think he's a decent player, man.
Decent.
I think what highlights
Yeah, I
his
agree with you.
I think what highlights his name more is his set piece
Yeah,
taking.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
apart from that, he's just a decent.
He's going to
player.
gain them points. You know,
Yeah.
I asked you the question about the goalkeeper. Does he
Yeah.
gain points or not? I think he's definitely giving you points because of that.
Last
Yeah.
minute, you need a point. You
Or
know,
a
it's
win.
basically like a penalty with him.
Yeah.
Like, he's that clinical, innit? But I think I'm happy that Maguire's finally, you know.
Yeah, man. Because I don't like the way
It's
you
been a
treat
long
him.
saga, man. It's been what? No, bro, I just
Look at
like
this guy,
music.
man. Bro, I know he was doing this when like Aubameyang and like Pepe and that leaving, man. Lie, man.
No.
Lie, man. I
was
know
I was
he's
happy to
Hey,
see
you
him
know when
done.
Joel's lying, yeah, this eye goes down first.
He starts squinting.
No.
He starts squinting.
But one eye's open. One eye open when he's lying. One eye. You're lying.
Lie, man. I know it, but even talking about centre backs and Man United, it looks like it's saying Johnny Evans is not seen as a Harry Maguire replacement, and Man United will go and sign a
Debo.
centre half. Thank goodness.
So Debo.
Yeah, to
Debo.
Debo, yeah. But I'm like, I need to look at that name. It sounded a bit Yoruba, you know.
No, Todibo. Olúwa Todibo. Barney. Yeah, man. You know our club's a black club.
Bro,
Trust me.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
it's a black
but
club,
yeah,
man.
it's looking like it'll be Todibo. So let's see what happens, man. We're apparently looking at other centre backs as well, some Bayer Leverkusen centre backs. So there's a few things that are going to be going on. Man United are going to be strengthening. I'm going to ask you guys quick fire Prem predictions later.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on something that I was talking to Joel off camera with. Bro, I know everyone's talking about, the Premier League this season's going to be crazy. You know, you look at these teams, look at this team. I'm genuinely dead serious when I think this is the worst I've ever seen the bottom half, in my opinion. The bottom half teams in the Prem are poor.
Yeah.
Luton.
Poor.
I can't tell you anything about that team right now. I think the best thing about them this season is going to be the hype about the stadium.
Bro, it's not even registered yet. Are they going to play on Sunday? Bro, they're trying to get it delayed.
They'll make it happen.
They're trying to get it delayed.
Everton.
I think they're going to smell this season.
Luton, Everton. Sheffield United are about to sell Burge to Burnley, and I don't know what they're doing. They just sold Ndai as well, who helped them so much last season. So you're talking about Luton,
Nottingham Forest.
mid, Bournemouth,
Okay.
Sheffield United, Luton, Everton,
I don't
West
even
Ham,
think
Fulham,
Palace are strong anymore.
Wolves.
I think Fulham.
Palace.
Fulham out of that lot. I think for me,
Yeah.
with Mitrovic back,
He doesn't want to be back then, man.
yeah, but he's back. He's back.
No. Mitrovic ain't one. You know, Mitrovic is one of them man that he'll be back, but he's not. He's there, but he's not present.
Yeah.
He's not
He doesn't
present.
care.
Yeah, I know.
Mitrovic will. He probably bang his own player in the
No,
face
but
on the
thing
pitch.
is, though, one thing.
Bro, he's gonna.
No,
bang
but one thing.
someone, bro.
One thing
He's
I've
gonna
clocked
get-
about Mitrovic though, yeah. You see with him, yeah. When it's 90 minutes is up, you can't ever say that he hasn't tried on the pitch.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'll say about Mitrovic. Fulham in general, I like the way they play.
Before you go on to that, sorry,
Yeah.
but there's another thing you can say about Mitrovic is when his head's turned.
No, of course,
Because since
of
the
course.
World Cup, where has he been, bro?
Bro, getting red cards
Where's
against
he
us
Yeah, it
and
was
that.
red cards, but he came back and
But
banged 2
where's
goals.
he been? Like, it's not
Hey, he's
been
coming
the
to
same
my club
Mitrovic.
anyway, man. We're trying to sign him.
it?
Yeah,
Al Hilal.
Did you take him?
Al Hilal.
I saw that. You
Yeah.
Al
lot hilarious. I saw that and I thought, you lot are funny.
How about this? I forgot my club's name. Don't even know the name anymore. I forgot. All I know begins with Al.
Al Nassr.
Al Nassr, there you go. Take me to the moon,
Listen, we're trying to get him, so I hope that goes over the line. You know, Al Hilal things. Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah. So, okay, cool. So are we saying then, yeah, that for the top 6, we're super excited because
Top 8, 9.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But the rest of the table is low. So
Is
would you say
really
this
low.
is? So you agree that this is the worst
Listen,
Premier League season in terms of quality?
it sounds.
No, bottom half.
But remember like Premier League 20 teams back in the day. You could go to the bottom team and still lose because there was still quality there. It was on the day. I think right now, when you go against Nottingham Forest, you expect to win.
That only changed when Bolton started jazzing it up a little bit. I think besides that,
Don't forget Ewood Park, Blackburn.
Man, there was places, man.
No, there was still rubbish teams.
I think the worst team I've seen in the Premier League history is Derby.
Yeah, 100%. They've got 1 win.
Yeah,
One
Derby
win.
were shocking.
All of them players should have been forced to retire.
Yeah, done.
You shouldn't. 1 win. Come on, man. But
my
listen,
sentence.
yeah, but look, I think the lower half of the Premier League is just so poor at the moment. And listen, the top 9, I don't even like that word, but the 9 teams, you know, you're looking at Villa, Brighton, Newcastle, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, City. Yeah, those teams are. I wouldn't even say, by the way, those teams are mad strong. By the way, I don't think Liverpool are mad strong. I don't think Spurs are mad strong. I don't think Chelsea are mad strong. Only thing is they're there on name, and you just expect them to be there, right? Brighton,
they have
are
talent
doing,
as well, though.
Yeah,
Chelsea
of
have
course.
talent. Give them a year or two for me.
No, of course. I'm not
years.
saying that Chelsea are going to have a bad season, but what I'm saying is you don't look at this Chelsea team and think, oh, that's Chelsea. You don't look at Liverpool right now and think,
definitely
ooh, that's Liverpool.
Definitely not.
So when I'm looking at these teams, yeah, we're saying, yo, the top 9 is going to be crazy. But is it going to be crazy because they're also stacked with crazy quality, or is it just because the parity for everyone is
It's a bit more. It's a bit more equal. I think that's what it is.
But
because-
we're closer
yeah.
to like a Brighton than we were to teams that should be winning the league. That's why it's not. But does that mean because Man United? Is that because Brighton are so good, or is that because Man United are not really at Man United levels?
Both. But I think, I think you're right. I think it's going to be very interesting. If you're looking at, like, Brighton, levels are up. Villa, we still don't know what they're going to do, by the way. We're assuming. We are assuming.
But look, yes, that's what I'm saying. So, like, a lot of the talk is that it's going to be strong, which I agree with. But Villa, as you mentioned, they got Europe. Newcastle, they got Champions League.
Could be too much. Arsenal, Champions League.
Arsenal,
Could be a
Champions
lot.
League. You never really know.
Why'd you mention that?
No, I actually wasn't taking a shot there for once.
But I just think, when you look at Arsenal, for example, who I think are going to be strong this season, I'm sorry, Arsenal, City, bro, they're going to do serious damage to that lower half of the league, bro. Like, I don't expect them to be dropping any points to them type of teams. Like, so, listen, don't be surprised if we see 100 points with a team this season.
Wow.
Remember I said that.
Wow.
95 to 100.
Wow.
Cams does these things where it'll go under the radar when no one cares.
And then he brings it
But then
out.
he will bring it out. That's why I'm today. If you clocked, I'm just very quiet. I'm just listening
Like,
today.
you gotta let him do what they're
Today
doing.
is Cams' day. Cams, keep cooking, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
Keep
telling
cooking.
you, bro.
Keep cooking.
Don't be surprised. There's going to be some streaks. Like, teams are going to win 10 in a row in that, bro. Watch.
Hey, you see that Derby team that got one win, yeah? Who was in that team? Was it like Georgie Kinclatzy and all them, man? Or
Was
it
Kevin
after
Miller?
that?
Was
I'm going to check that. Kenny Miller.
Kenny Miller,
I
yeah.
think so.
Robbie Savage was there.
Oh, yeah.
Robbie Savage was there.
Wasn't he even
was
skipper?
the skips.
Robbie!
Yeah, Robbie was the skipper.
Robbie was getting on to me last week, so I think we should send this clip to him.
Yeah, Robbie, man.
If
Part of
you-
history.
If you are the captain of the worst ever Premier League side,
Yeah. Then you've got a lot. You've got a lot to hide
BT,
your head. Yeah.
He's gonna
TNT
say-
Sports, they need to
He's
start.
going to say, you guys have never managed a football team. You never played football before. What do you know? What do you know?
Well, I know that. That's not how you do it. Yeah. I know for sure. That's not how you do it.
Kenny Miller was their top goal scorer.
How many goals
You
he
want to
scored?
guess how many goals he scored?
3.
4.
Nah, he got 4. He got 4 goals. 4 goals in the league as their top goal scorer. Let me look at their playing squad, bro. They had Robert Earnshaw. Wow.
wow.
Robert Earnshaw. Kenny Miller. You know what? Robbie Savage. Oh, yeah. He was captain. He even says captain in brackets.
Yeah. Wow.
He was the captain. They had Roy Carroll, one of our worst ever keepers. They had a
Him and
couple.
Taibbi, worst of all.
They had 3 Jamaican ballers. No wonder they went down, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 4. They had 5 Jamaican internationals.
I mean,
Michael Johnson, Claude Davis, Giles Barnes, Tyrone Mears, Darren Moore.
Darren Moore, he's the manager of...
Darren Moore.
Yeah, he was the manager of Sheffield United.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
Bro, you can't stay up in the Premier with 5 Jamaican internationals, bro. Come
You
on.
need some. You need one little burner boy or whiskey in there. You know what I'm trying to say? You just need some sort of essence anyway.
Man, try to stay up in 5 Jamaicans, bro. Come on, man. All right, let's actually do some quick fire Prem predictions as it stands right now. We're still going to do a revised one, by the way, people.
Yeah.
We're going to do a revised one once the window is closed. We're going to do I know games would have been played, but, you know, anything can change. Somebody can sign Neymar and the whole landscape changes. So, all right, top 5. Because now 5th place gets Champions League. Remember that, people.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Top 5.
In no order, I'm going to go Man City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, and I will go Newcastle as well. I just think Chelsea, as much as I'm really excited about them, and I feel they've only got one game that they play in a week, I just think, actually, nah, I don't know. I just feel like Newcastle will flop this season, so I'm going to go Chelsea. I'm going to go Chelsea. So, yeah, Man City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Arsenal, let me start again. Man City, best team ever that we lost to. Arsenal.
So many times.
We beat him on Sunday. Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Okay.
I'm going to say...
That's mad. I'm saying Liverpool will be 6.
Oh. I'm going to go Man United, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, and Chelsea.
What, you reckon Newcastle is going to be too much for them?
I don't know with Newcastle, but they're looking good in pre-season, you know. I'll be
Who
honest.
did they sign this morning?
Tonali, Harvey Barnes. They're trying to get Livramento.
They got him.
Oh, they got Livramento, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm writing off Newcastle a little bit.
Get off the fence, boy.
Yeah, I got to think
Get
about
off
it.
the fence,
Anyway, this is the early predictions.
Yeah.
Actually, because it's the early prediction, I'll take out Chelsea. I'm going to put Newcastle.
Okay.
Because it's the early ones. All right, overachievers.
Villa.
Is that really overachieving at this
I
point?
think-
Everyone seems to... But what's the overachieving, though? What
I
position?
think for me, I think a lot of people are gonna, based off their signings, based off how they, played last season. I think people are expecting them to do a mad thing, and I think they will. But I think it's gonna go past everyone's heads how great they're gonna be this season. I think with Emery, we've seen he just knows how to win. Like regardless of what team he has, he's able to win, and I think they've strengthened a lot. So for me, I'd go with Aston Villa. I think they're gonna overachieve this season.
Right now, my heart's telling me Nottingham Forest.
Ooh.
I think, even though, listen,
Stevie Coops.
listen, did they not do what they had to do last season?
That guy that's sleeping every day, high as hell. That
You know
guy
what I mean?
smokes Cali.
Yeah.
He's mad still.
You know what I mean? But what's my man? Gibbs White.
Morgan baller, man. Baller.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Something about, I think now there's a bit of a little arrogance about them that I've seen. Like I see them in press runs a little bit. I'm thinking, okay, you guys think you're a Prem team. You're either going to get slapped in the face or you're going to show us a little something. And what's overachieving for them? Maybe top 10.
10th,
Do you know what I mean?
11th,
Or maybe
10th.
11th.
Yeah.
For them, that's overachieving.
not
I'm not saying, but it's...
It's not hard with how crap that bottom half is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
honestly. My
It's not hard,
overachievers.
It's not hard at all.
My overachievers, I'm going to go with Burnley. I'm going to go Burnley. Actually,
going
hold on. Oh, wait, let me do that again. My overachievers is either Burnley or Brentford. That signing of Nathan Collins. Guys, remember I told you this, yeah? That signing of Nathan Collins,
I'm over this
bro.
guy, man. I'm just over it now, man. I'm just over it.
That signing of Nathan Collins.
Man's got one little starlet, that he's found, and he's praying and hoping.
Listen, I feel like
That's
people.
counts for you.
I
Yeah.
think people are gonna think, because of no Ivan. Actually, do you know, I'm gonna go Brentford because everyone is expecting that without Ivan Toney, they're gonna fall off. They're not gonna fall off, in my opinion. So I'm gonna stick with Brentford. All right, underachievers.
That's tough. For some reason, I just think Liverpool, And I think for me, I think there's a lot of pressure this season because of how they finished last season, and I think midfield is still a bit shaky. I think their defense hasn't been completed in terms of the required replacements that they need. So I think for them, they're going to struggle. I think. However, I think they've got a lot of firepower, but there just needs to be balance in that team. And I think until there's balance, I don't think it's going to be a great season.
It's funny because now people are going to be like, Jordan Henderson has been massively missed, and even though people were like, oh, he's slowing him down. Do you reckon? My question for you is going to be, bloody heck, I forgot my question. I was going to ask him.
Let me just ask you, underachieving.
I'd rather you wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you reckon if Jurgen Klopp has the same season he had last season, should he get sacked, and will he get sacked?
I think, I think it's crazy to say he should get sacked. I think he's that manager that he's been Mr. Liverpool. He's the reason why Liverpool are even in the conversation, one of the best teams in the world, yeah? So to sack him just because he hasn't been the best, knowing that he doesn't get the mad budget like every other team gets as well, I think is a mad thing. I think it's a question, like you said with Arteta, there just needs to be questions that need to be asked. I don't think sacking is the right thing for Klopp. That's a mad thing. But I do think that the lights will be brighter than ever this season if he doesn't achieve what we expect him to do, which is some trophies or at least challenging for the title. I think if Liverpool challenge for the title, finish in the top 4, I think Liverpool fans will be like, okay, cool, next season we really need to go again. We need to go again. Yeah. I don't think any Liverpool fan is expecting him to win the league. So to put that pressure on him if he doesn't, I think is unfair. So I wouldn't say.
It's mad what one season does.
Liverpool needs to really strengthen up, man.
Liverpool are not challenging for the league, and Arsenal are.
Mad. It's mad. My underachievers, I'm probably going to say, I don't know if it's really underachieving, but should I do make a big shout or should I do a safe shout?
Be a big shout. That's what we do over here. Big shouts only.
Brighton.
Oh my God.
Brighton. What's the expectation? I think people are now expecting that Brighton could potentially push top 4.
You said that.
Bro, they were pushing top 4 last season.
They weren't pushing. They were just tapping on the door.
Yeah. Okay, now it takes 5. It takes 5 teams to make the top 4, to make the Champions League. I think people are expecting. Bro, have you seen Brighton's window this summer? You know what I mean? They got in Julio. They got in James Milner. They got in Dahoud. They're getting in Kudus.
Dahoud looks good as well. Yeah, Kudus is that confirmed yet though?
Actually, do you know what? I might be moving mad.
I always said that you smoke crack sometimes. I always said, but I didn't want everyone to know in public. But now they can see it.
I might be moving mad. I just think, what is the expectation for Brighton now? I think they're in that.
Isn't it top 7, top 8 still? Top 7? Is that not a good?
That's a good shot.
I think.
Think again, man.
Yeah,
just think again.
I know.
What would you say, Joe? What would you say,
Brighton?
No, for your underachievers.
Underachievers. You see, in all honesty, in all honesty, I think it's Liverpool. But I'm trying to say something else besides that because you've said it. But I think Liverpool, you're 100%. Yeah. Well, I say 100%, but you're right on that. I'm trying to think of underachievers.
All right, you know what? Underachiever, Fulham. Fulham.
I don't think so. Because Fulham were overachieving last season. So if Fulham are in a relegation battle this season, I'm just going to be like, well.
Where did they finish last season? 10th.
They did well.
They finished at 10th, yeah.
Yeah, so they overachieved.
So okay.
So what are you saying? They should be doing that again?
Why not?
Nah, man.
Why not?
They've said. I
Marco
think,
Silva, he turned down Al Hilali.
Man didn't even know which one it was. Alright, we need to do our research on these teams. Al Hilali. He made a new team. He just made a new team. Wow.
But, all right, cool. Let's move on from that. Relegation. Who's getting relegated? Simple. 3 teams.
Everton.
Ooh. Sean Dyche's men. He's not gonna real men his way through.
I think Nottingham Forest.
What?
Yeah. I'm look. You see with me, I don't rate Nottingham Forest at all. I'm sorry. Like, I tried my best. I like Brendan Johnson.
Against Forest, innit?
Brendan Johnson's great. I like Gibbs White. I think that man.
I want knee.
I'm on
He's good.
Yeah,
he's good.
Like, I just think they'll get relegated. I don't know why.
Fair enough.
That's my 3.
You got
Everton for sure.
Damn.
I just think they're not going to be able to pull out this lucky escape again. Who else came up?
Luton and Sheffield United and Burnley.
Oh, Luton are going down, mate. Luton are going down. I say Luton, they just won't have enough. And I think it'll either be Burnley or I'll say Burnley. I feel like what could carry them over the line is company, but
their first games against Man City, if they get hided,
you saw the way they got slapped last season. Oh my gosh!
I would say Luton, Sheffield United, and Wolves. I think.
Oh, you reckon Wolves are also on that?
I think Wolves are on that. They just got rid of Lopetegui as well. They're bringing in Gaza O'Neill. He did a good job at Bournemouth.
Gaza O'Neill is killing me. Gaza O'Neill. Oh,
Bro,
Cams, you're a joker.
Bro, I just don't see it working out for them. Everton will just be, but I'm just trusting that, Dyche's know-how. You know what I mean? They'll find a way.
Guys, we gotta focus on the game.
But
Sounds
they
like me
actually
right now,
have
bro.
they have a terrible, terrible team at the moment. Like they're complaining about Dwight McNeil being injured, and I'm like,
That's one
damn,
of my
you
players.
lot
I
are
really like Dwight.
really poor. But anyway, transfer of the season so far.
Go on, Joe. You might as well start off.
Declan Rice.
Would he match that price tag that they're putting on him? I don't like to look at price tags.
Only
but-
time will tell. And don't get me wrong, I feel like we paid a lot of money for him, but I think where Arsenal Football Club is, we needed that marquee signing. We needed to say this is our number one target, and we've gone for him. And I think what that does is it reminds people that we've still got pulling power. That was my biggest issue with the club before. We would get Jesus, which is a good signing, but it was a reject. A City reject. Zinchenko, again, you've seen the way, I love him, but you see the way the City players treat him.
Yeah,
right?
they
treat him
just slap in the air and everything. It's even kind of abuse.
you know. But
Nah, wait, bro, Kyle Walker now fucking him up. That's like,
see Grealish barged him in there.
Yeah,
outside the
still,
goal.
he's just like a little youth.
But still our guy. Yeah. But I think it's the first time in a long time that we've said, yeah, you know what, we want this player and we're going to pay what we need to pay to get him. And we're going to bully other teams to get him. And we did it. And I think seeing the way he played as well in the Community Shield, there's promise there. So for me, it's definitely Declan Rice.
I think there's two players that I think are going to transition their teams. So I don't mean as in like, oh, this is the best player. But I think Yuri Timber for Arsenal is so important. I think what I've seen so far from him from pre-season and even from the Man City game on the weekend, I just think he's exactly what Arsenal need. He's strong, can pass the ball really, really well, and he just transitions so well as a defender. But I think
played left back as well,
and look, bro, he's just a utility
He
player. He can play so well
across the
and
back.
this is a player who I really wanted at United because I felt like he could solve so many different problems. But for me, I think for our club, I think we've spoken about our keeper for a very, very long time. Now, I know he got lobbed the other day.
From the halfway line.
Yeah, but if you watch the game, you know it wasn't his fault.
But he also got chipped by Bellingham as well. That was incredible.
That's a good finish,
That was
bro.
a good finish, bro. That's Jude Bellingham. And I don't even look at it too tough because Ramsdale got that one in the league where it mattered. And
You know what I'm saying?
And Europa Cup,
Bro.
whatever trophy he was in that you didn't win. But look, I think with Andre Onana, the way we want to play is quick transition from our keeper to our midfield players or to our defenders and stop the dilly-dallying on the ball. Those 10 seconds that David De Gea used to have the ball for allowed the opposition team to just settle themselves out. Literally, it did take about 10 seconds. And we just need someone to transition. Yeah. Now, yes, he got lobbed, but our defenders need to know that when we've got the ball, we need to know that Onana's right behind us.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's not going to be on
And
his
he's gonna
line.
shout.
He's going to shout. So I think it's just for us to learn. But yeah, for me, it's just to say one player, I'd say Timber. Timber for me.
Timber. I'm going to go best transfer, Nathan Collins for Brentford. You guys keep laughing at this.
I'm not even laughing.
I'm not laughing.
I'm
It's
looking at
the
you.
way that you're laughing at yourself.
Yeah.
You're even like, am I mad?
Nathan Collins.
Am I sick?
Nathan Collins. Trust me, by the end of the season, people are going to say a top 4 team should be signing him. So watch. So Nathan Collins for me. Just right now, player of the season.
What?
Quickfire. Who's going to be a player of the season?
Rasmus Højlund.
Oh my God.
Odegaard.
Player of the season.
Odegaard. You don't even need to rush me. Odegaard.
Odegaard.
Guy's a magician still, man.
I'm going to go Saliba.
Really?
Saliba. I'm going to go Saliba.
I think Odegaard does things that people don't see. Don't get me wrong.
I love
Saliba's
it.
great,
He's my
Odegaard.
favourite Arsenal player.
Like,
I love Odegaard.
just oozing with class.
And the reason why I picked Rasmus, even though he hasn't played, I just think when I watch United, one thing we're missing. No, this is not even a hope thing. I
But
believe.
to win that, bro, he's going to have to win the Golden Boot.
But do you know what it is for me? It's not, okay, cool. Yes, he might not score the most goals, but I'm just looking at how you're going to transition and change the way we play. We're missing that finisher, someone who's just going to put the ball in the back of the net, and we're not relying on Rashford all the time. Like we need. I think if he can be that player for us, it's going to do so much for us, bro.
Hey, Sancho's been looking good pre-season.
Watch
by the
out
way.
for him.
He's looking stronger
No,
as
but
well.
When we were telling people Kenneton was where it started, they thought we was joking. They laughed. They put Troops' weed smoking pictures up. Yeah, of him blasting California. Yeah, watch it. They need to get the fade pictures of Sancho back. I'm telling you.
He's playing
All
well.
right,
He's playing well.
we've done a player season. Golden Boot. Who's winning it? Who's winning it? Who's winning it?
I think, yeah.
You have to go Højlund now, innit?
No. I think it's going to be Mo Salah, you know.
Is it Remontada?
I think Mo Salah, you know. I don't know what it is. That guy is so jammy that when if Liverpool have a good season, it's because Salah's playing well.
100%.
That doesn't even make sense because you don't even think Liverpool are going to do well. They're in
know.
your underachievers.
But it
So
doesn't
how can
matter.
you say-
That doesn't
was still
matter.
scoring
Harry Kane almost wins
come on,
golden
man.
boots and doesn't go do anything.
Nah, man, but they get the way.
Don't judge me for my views.
Yeah, you got yours.
Yeah,
Use your
go,
golden
you
boot.
do you.
Golden
It's
boot.
simple. It's Haaland.
Yeah.
Like I don't think. I think recently his actual all-round footballing has been exposed a little bit, but I feel like he's got a lot to learn, and I don't think he's going to break the record. But I just don't. It could be Harry Kane.
Yeah.
It looks like he's
If
not
he
going,
stays.
If he stays,
If
it looks
he
like he
stays.
might not be going Bayern.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Not Harry Kane. I'm gonna go Haaland as well. God, I just can't. What he's gonna do to teams like Luton and that. He's just, bro. He'll feast. Manager of the season.
Manager of the season will be Erik ten Hag.
Manager of the season.
Pep.
I'm gonna have to go Teta because I think at this point Arsenal are gonna win the league. Listen, and that was the quick fire predictions. Remember, people,
Yeah.
it was quick fire. You
Yeah.
didn't have time to think,
And it
also
is
it's going to be
opinions.
revised at the end of the transfer window. Remember that. Anything else that you guys wanna add? Lastly,
I just hope you're right.
yeah, you don't back Man United for nothing, bruv.
And I hope Nathan Collins
I'm-
does
I'm
really
a
well.
realist.
If he doesn't, Nathan, no disrespect to you, but just blame him, brother.
It's
'Cause,
true.
Yeah, he's done a mad thing.
Listen, whoever I put stocks in, they succeed.
Like Martial.
I've never ever been a Martial.
What?
Never. No, Cam's has never been a
You've
Martial.
never been AM9.
Anyone that watches has no. Cam has
Oh,
never been a Martial
wow.
guy.
AM9 is mental. That
Never.
sounds like a flipping rifle. It sounds
Never.
like a rifle.
I take everybody I put stocks in, they go to the top. I got Declan Rice's transfer, you know. It was because of me.
Yeah, I got Rasmus here, but you don't see me talking
Yeah, but
about it.
I got Rice's transfer.
And I got Sancho as well.
You know
but
what I
hey.
mean? I got Grealish
I got
to City,
inside
by the
scoop
way.
as well, but I can't say it here. Just know that. Morocco. Anyway,
Listen, listen, people. When are we gonna do our first watch along? We said we're gonna do a watch along, right?
yes. So we'll give a date for the next episode for sure, but we're going to be doing a lot of watch alongs. So the games that me and Cams can't go to at Old Trafford, we'll be doing a watch along. So all the away fixtures.
Is it too far?
No, I've been
Yeah,
to Old
yeah.
Trafford 44 times in 2 seasons. How about you? Love. So yeah, guys.
I've been there
make
quite a
sure-
lot. But I've been there quite a lot, so I don't know what you're trying to say.
'cause
No, but when
you're
you
already
go to
there.
Emirates that much?
I do.
Do you?
A lot.
No, you don't.
They don't know you in Emirates. They don't know you around them. They don't know you.
They know Cams. They don't come to the boxes. They don't come to the boxes.
They
They
don't
don't
know
know,
you,
man. I don't know about you, man.
They don't know you
You're
in no
undercover
fucking
United
brand.
fan,
Yeah.
brother. You're outside
I've
the
had
stadium,
Emirates
but I
a
don't know
lot.
about in there.
No, honestly, are you right? Are you
They
right?
don't know you around there, bro.
You guys are
They
buzzing.
don't know you in Islington, bro.
Is that what you don't think? Is that the one on the street?
Honestly.
Alright, cool.
They don't know you around
We'll
there, bro.
see. We'll see. All right, you know what we should do? Let's tally it up, innit? Who goes
Let's
to their
tally it up.
Who goes to their
Let's
club?
do it.
Not for work. Not for work.
But I work on weekends though.
Yeah,
No.
you
To
see?
watch
But I
your
can't
team.
do that. But
Okay,
I
cool.
watch my team for work. So
Oh, see, that's what you're doing.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. You
lot,
using
you
Arsenal
lot,
for content,
you lot.
mate. Ain't that what they accused the AFTV for?
that's been another episode of Inside Scoop. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Massive shout out to us. Sorry for the voice. I'll see you guys next week.
Peace.